Good morning, everyone. Pretty important video, as promised, the change in state of delivery, right? So, pretty important video, as I said before. So, grab a cup of coffee, a notepad, and let's go, okay? So, the CISD, right? So, we will start by defining what is the CISD, and then we'll go and look at what is a high probability CISD, and then I will show you how to use it with the universal model to actually start printing money, right? So, number one, okay, what is the CSD? Okay, sorry, just woke up. So the CSD means a change in state of delivery, right? And it signals an early change in order flow from bullish to bearish, or vice versa if we are bearish to bullish, okay? So how it looks in the charts, okay? Now let's go to the real charts. I will not draw you some crazy examples, right? So I will give you some minutes to see if you can see it, right? Before I speak. Okay. So the CSD, right? So a bullish CSD is when we have a swing low, right? So this is a swing low, and the swing low is a three candle formation when we have a swing low, right? So the moment we run that swing low, we have successive down candles that was responsible of lowering that swing low, right? So the moment we close above the highest body in that succession, right? Here we have the CSD, right? So as you can see, we changed the stage of delivery with this candle. Next candle stinks to the level and up we went, right? So this is a bullish CSD, right? Bearish CSD, same thing, right? We have a swing high, so this is a three candle formation high, okay? So this high is lower than this high, and this high is lower than this high. So this is a swing high, okay? So we run that swing high with these consecutive up candles, right? And then we close with this candle, okay? So next candle stinks into it, another fair value gap, and then it gave some money, right? So this is actually what is the CSD, right? Sometimes we have only one candle that will take this high, right? So when we have consecutive candles, it's higher probability, right? But we will speak about higher probability after, okay? So what is a high probability CSD? Okay, so number one, high probability CSD is in line with higher time frame order flow. So a CSD is high probability when it is in line with higher time frame order flow. Okay, so look at this chart, okay? Let's now erase everything. Look at this chart, okay? This is clearly a bullish chart, okay? So you don't go mad and take bearish CSDs, okay? So for example, we have this CSD here, right? So as you can see, we have a high. We have this candle that took the high, and then we closed under here, okay? This candle closed, okay? So this was just a turtle soup, right? A fake change in state of delivery, because price is actually bullish, right? This as well. So we have this high, we run it, and then we manipulate like this, right? So I will give you some filters how to avoid those, right? And normally we are pretty bullish, right? So higher time frame in here is bullish, so you always take bullish CSDs, right? Okay. So now second point of how to define a high probability CSD. So a higher probability CSD number 2 is when the leg that takes the swing high have an FVG, right? So the CSD will actually inverse that FVG. Okay, let's give you guys an example, right? I'm looking at it right now. I didn't have time to find examples, so I'm finding new examples from real-time charts. Okay, so look at this. We have this beautiful low, right? This one. So candle lower and the candle higher. So this is a swing low, right? And we are bullish, right? So we run that low, right? And we have a FVG, okay? This one. So this is for me a higher probability CSD when we close again about the highest body, right? So this is a higher probability CSD because it have always and not, I mean, another bullish to bearish change in state. I don't know what's wrong with trading view. Okay. So I wanted to say that this is high probability because it have now two bullish indications, right? So number one is the IFVG, okay? So this is an early change in state. I know some guys that their models will long from the IFVG, but for me, I like to wait for the CSD, right? And then I will take it from this candle. So most of my entries will be like this. I will usually buy in this candle and target 2 hours. Okay. Okay. So where okay. So number 3, CSD is even higher probability when we close the FVG with another FVG, and actually this was a great example as well, right? So number 3, we close the FVG with another FVG, creating a BPR, a balanced price range, right? So what I mean is simply we have an FVG in this leg, right? And then when we invert it, we create another FVG, okay? So this is higher or crazy high probability. And as you can see, this candle stinks to this FVG and then we just go up, okay? All right, so number 4, all right? So the CSD happened in an aligned higher time frame fair value gap, okay? So in this example, we had the M15 FVG, okay? So I will show it to you, right? So we had, it's yesterday's price action, by the way. We had this M15 FVG, okay? So this was the FVG low, right? Now, if we go to the M1, you will see that this was the high of the range. This was the high of the CSD, okay? Right? And as you can see, these were the up candles that took that high. So this is now, by design, my change in state of delivery, right? So the time frame alignments are M15 gap, M1 charts, 1 hour gap, M5 CISD, and H4 gap, 15-minute CISD. Okay, this is all you need for daily trading, right? And then you can find the other time frame alignments in the Discord. If you can ask, I will give them to you. Okay, if you want to weekly trade or short-term trading or something like that. Okay, so this is now my CISD, right? If you wanted to take it like this, next candle, limit here, stops under the highs, and take, for example, let's say a 1-to-1. Okay, so price came here, tease you, and then they ranged a little bit because price action is horrible as of late, and then they give you your 1-to-1. Okay, now number 4 or 5, the CSD have SMT with one or more correlated asset of the trade. So we trade NQ, so the other assets in the trade are NQ, ES, and YM, right? So let's bring the big boys out, okay? So as you can see, right? Remember the lesson about the FVG and the lower time frame range, right? So you can see that this is the range that have the fair value gap on M1, right? And as you can see, Nasdaq took that high while ES made this lower low, right? So this is SMT divergence, okay? Now, this makes everything high probability, right? Because SMT is a filter to manipulation, right? So they manipulated this high and they didn't on ES, right? And YM, okay? And as you can see, this is the high on YM, right? And this was the other high, okay? So as you can see, let's talk about this high, okay? So you can see that Nasdaq took this high, right? And you can also see that YM created failure swings here. So the moment this CSD happens, it's high probability, but you need to put your stop above because sometimes they will go mitigate. Let me show you this, okay? So this is a volume imbalance, right? Look at this body, it closed here, and then we have the next candle open high. So this is an imbalance that price seeked. And this is another secret in the market, because sometimes why do they go up high? It's just because there is a volume imbalance in deep premium, okay? Now let's wait for trading view to stop acting up. I'll sip some coffee. All right, cool. Now, what is beautiful about yesterday's CSD is that we have fair value gap that took this high and this high, and we inversed it with this fair value gap. Now, something I wanted to tell you, right? Whenever we have a CSD like this, right, and it have a swing high here, this becomes liquidity, right? And this is another secret I'm sharing with you. Nobody's speaking about it. This is from my own findings, right? So this becomes internal range liquidity that will be taken most of the times. So please don't be the smart guy that will have a small stop loss to have more RR and then they will take you out and resume their way, right? And this is not, will be not CSD, right? Because we are coming down from our higher time frame gap, right? So anything counter that trade or counter that order flow will be a trap. Okay, so look at what they did actually, right? So they come here, they did the SMT here, and they CSD in Nasdaq, right? So Nasdaq have this protected high. Okay, they come here, they never CSD on ES, right? Look at this. They go and create another SMT just to take this high on ES, which is not projected because they never CSD on ES, right? So this is why yesterday I stopped, or I was telling you this was gonna become a range because I saw this SMT and ES never actually CSD. So they wanted that high, right? So another SMT happened at that high, followed by a CSD on all the asset, right? And as you can see, we all we do is trade the probability, because as you can see, ES was bad enough to take those highs again. But the guys trading Nasdaq, we had a good trade yesterday, right? The M15 to the M1 universal model is crazy. Okay, so I actually talked about the universal model and how to use it with the CSD in this example, so we don't have to talk about it another time. Okay, so I think you have an idea about CSD, all right? And I wanted to show you something else. Okay, I wanted to show you when the CSD is low probability. Okay, so here is an example, although it worked out, but it's still a bad example. Okay, so we have a high, right? That will be taken with only in a huge wick candle, small body, right? This worked out because we have this big bodied candles and we close under them as well, right? But imagine we don't have this. Okay, so right, okay, cool, thanks TradingView. So these candles don't exist, right? And only candle we have is this, right? So by definition the CSD is closing under this body, right? Okay, so this, from my experience, will be the lowest probability ever CSD, right? If you don't have thick candles, right, bodies that we close under, right, it's not a very good CSD. And I'm not even talking about BPRs, FVG and all this stuff, right? Okay, cool. Right, I think I covered most of the CSD stuff, right? And I think it's the best, most complete CSD video I've seen, because most of the videos they won't include SMTs, higher time frame, FVGs. They will teach you only the pattern, create maybe pattern traders that will be taken out every time. Okay, so this is the logic, right? And if you want to learn more about how we use it with the universal model and the MMX FVG, just look at the other videos in the MMX VG playlist. Okay, I want to, yeah, so quick reminder, if you never took an account with my funded futures, they are going 50% off of the first month, right? Which is kind of crazy, right? So the core 50k core account is only $38, right? And if you pass it, you don't pay for the fees. Okay, so this is a crazy good promo. If you want to use my code Diogenes to take it, I'll be thankful. All right. Okay, that's all for today's video. I hope it is a good video because as you can see, I just woke up, didn't even finish my espresso. I tried my best at least, and if you still have more questions, why not shoot them in the Discord and we'll all help you out. Okay, so have a good day. Ciao ciao.